Every day we wait, they get stronger.
Let's take them by surprise.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
Rogue One starts here with Andor, and we're talking about each and every episode of Disney Plus original series on our podcast, Going Rogue. My name's Dylan White. Joining me, Ashley Hobley.
Dylan, excited to be here. Yeah,
very good.
We start the Resistance.
So this week, episode 4, Aldhani. One episode, not 3 this week. Directed by Susanna White, written by Tony and Dan Gilroy, the synopsis of which was, out of options, Cassian is recruited for a dangerous mission to infiltrate an Imperial garrison. What did you think of this week's solo, not movie length, premiere thing? Yes.
I mean, I think it was technically the longest episode.
It was the longest, so I'll say that I clicked play and straight away clicked pause so I could see the runtime. I was happy to see it was like 49 minutes or 48, something like that.
Right, it was like 50 minutes minus the time credits or whatever.
Yeah. I was happy to see it wasn't 26 minutes or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Obviously, again, it's a building episode. We're getting introduced to the wider cast of Andor. Obviously, in the first 3 episodes, we were kind of pinpoint focused on Andor in his direct collection of characters. But yeah, obviously we're expanding a bit more. We get introduced to Mon Mothma of this episode. Also get introduced to the people in the Imperial security, the reconnaissance. No.
IBS.
Yeah, whatever.
Imperial Bureau of Security.
That too. So, and then obviously Andor's on his first escapade as part of the rebellion. So yeah, I thought it was pretty solid, like building episode, obviously building up to maybe next episode when they actually run things, or episode, because from what I've heard, they're going to do like 3 episode arcs so far. So yeah, pretty liked it.
Yeah, really like to continue just to think this is like hit after hit. Very just so excited. Like show looks so good.
It is kind of silly how good it looks. I mean, the worst thing I would argue in this that looks not great is the car. Even that's like that could be the personal choice. The car that she comes to the shop in, or Mothma.
Oh right, yeah, I didn't even notice. I thought everything looked fine. I had no complaints. Maybe I'm just in so much shock and awe.
You're in shock and awe.
I'm saying practical locations, real trees and shit. It's crazy, man. I don't. Losing my mind over here. It's kind of crazy. What do they smell like? What's nature like? I don't know what you.
They actually touch grass in this episode.
They actually touch grass. Good on them. Yeah, really, really liked it. I feel like definitely this. I felt like this episode definitely works. As much as I'd like an hour and a half of this every week, this felt like it worked a lot better than any of the previous 3 would have. I think like releasing all 3 of those in one go was the better idea. It was really good like prologue, and then we're now into like the meat of the show, I guess, and seeing Cassian on his journey to become the person that we see in Rogue One and everything. And we get a little bit more of obviously Luthen, and finally getting to see Mon Mothma was really exciting. Meeting some other people, bad guys, I guess. Seeing what happens to other bad guys was quite funny. Let's start the Cassian stuff and then touch on a few of the other characters. So, I thought the interesting thing of note that's easy to miss this episode is Cassian, when asked to take a fake name, takes his dad's name. So, that was Clem is his father's, or his adopted father, I guess, is his name. So
not very creative.
Not very creative, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was totally
it's reasonably easy to track.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, again, I assume that eventually we will see like a flashback to more to do with like his dad and everything, because that throwaway line about him being hanged in the street and whatever from the last somewhere along those last 3 episodes, they all just blend together now. I don't know what happened in episode 1, 3, 2. Then it's just one episode. But yeah, I definitely like the slow journey we're going to go on with Cassian here, where, he's picked up by Luthen. Luthen says, don't you want to like do more than just spit in the soup and all this sort of stuff? And Cassian very much sounds like Jyn Erso in this, like doesn't want to be part of the fight. He says something about Saw's partisans, some of a group, rebels, they're all the same, whatever. I just want to live my life. Very like Jyn Erso sounding, how he wants to go about it. And he has to be paid to do the mission, which is, does make him a mercenary, not actually one for the cause, which is something that Vel definitely is not going to tell the rest of that group once he's got in, because she's saying he's like, viva la resistance, sort of mantra. So that's interesting how I wonder and it really does make me wonder, like, what is going to be the exact fire or, whatever flame that makes him do that final push. Like, it's not like he doesn't already hate the Empire. We're there. He hates the Empire. He's just not at the stage where he wants to put his life into fighting against them. Especially from from an actual fighting cause, not just getting paid for it, sort of thing. So I wonder what that's going to be. They're there. So this mission's this episode's mostly set up for their mission, which is to go fuck up this garrison. And it does very much sound like a suicide mission. Although again, it just remind me of Rogue One, because he's like, there's only 10 of us, and then Jyn has that line, make 10 men feel like 100. 10 feel like 100 or whatever, like that. Yeah. So I don't know if they're purposeful callbacks or I'm just like linking stuff. I'm just linking stuff in my head over here. I don't know, but I thought very much like everything in this episode, everyone fears everyone, like everyone that Vel has fears for Cassian. The only reason she takes him is because of Luthen, like, really pushing. So then everyone back at her camp is like super fearful he could be like a spy and all this sort of stuff. And then you're watching the Mon Mothma deal with Luthen, and they think everyone's a spy and all this sort of stuff. So I like that vibe from this show, where it's less just the war sort of stuff we've seen before, and it is more can I trust this person? Who's this person? Like, what's the go? We can't let our secrets out and all this sort of stuff. It's a different sort of vibe that we haven't seen in Star Wars before that I'm quite enjoying. What do you think is Luthen's story? So he is a dude who comes and picks up Cassian.
Yep.
We think he's going to pick him up because he's got this item that he wants to buy, but then he's like, no, I'm here for you. I'm here for Cassian. He then says to him that he's not actually in charge and it's Vel. It's very obvious that it's not actually her. It's still him. He's just saying that he's not in charge of the operation or something for the sake of Cassian. Goes out there and tells her that, take this person or whatever. Then says that Cassian's actually really expendable, but they need him. Then the fact we get to see him go back to Coruscant, which, again, very cool to see Coruscant, like, for the first time in forever.
Since the prequels.
Yeah, just that overhead shot of the city was very beautiful, I thought. I'm just seeing stuff. So, but yeah, so then we see him go back to Coruscant. We see him, he's an art dealer. He puts on a wig. He literally is acting to the point that he looks in a mirror and practices his cheesy smile. Like,
I love that sequence. I think it's so cool. Just him like tilting down that fold-away mirror, putting all those rings and like feigning whatever crazy.
Because when he's talking normally to like Cassian or whatever, it's just like very Dao-sized, it's like very serious or whatever. And his personality is like a lot like louder. It's like fucking Benicio del Toro.
But then you hear him talking to Mon Mothma,
like switches it on and off on a dime.
On a dime,
yeah. What do you think of this character?
I think he is the current leader of the rebellion. That is my impression of what we've seen so far, or at least higher up than what Mothma's currently. So, although she talks about the circle, so I assume he's one of the top echelon of people involved in the rebellion. So
makes me wonder who. So you'd have you'd have Mon Mothma, you'd have Luthen, I guess Bala Organa. That's I guess that would be it, right? Like how big is the circle? How do you feel can be in this?
More of a triangle.
Yeah, more. I was going to say it's more of a triangle.
So yeah, I assume there's more people.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Luthen's the most interesting character that came out of this so far. Not to mention, we can't skip over the fact that he does hand Cassian a kyber crystal.
Kyber crystal. Hey, check this out. Have a look at this. You'll go to a planet where you die. You'll go down to a planet where they're mining all this.
Yeah.
Bloody kyber crystals. The bane of us all.
Why do you reckon he has one?
Like, he says it's a personal thing.
He says it holds sentimental value, like personal value. He wants it back. He gives it to him to sell if he needs, but
if I had to spitball some crazy idea, he fell in love with a Jedi and the Jedi got killed during ODS 66, he took the kyber crystal from a lightsaber. That's a cool story.
Be. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say straight away, it cannot be some dumbass who's secretly a Jedi in hiding, because that would be terrible. That would be so bad. I'd sort of not ruin the show, but fuck, I'd be annoyed if that's the direction they went. I'll say that right now.
No, you don't want him to be a Jedi, is what you're saying.
No, I don't want no fucking Jedi. Just stay away.
Yeah. Too many survived Order 66.
I'm sick of this. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you all survive Order 66? You should have all just died. Is what Dylan wants.
Died, so I'm sick of Jedis, right? I've had enough Jedi for now.
Yeah. Hate Cal Kestis. Hate Ahsoka. Yeah.
Enough Jedi in this show. Enough Jedi in shows. Leave them out of the show is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not to say, like, he can definitely have a kyber crystal and not be a Jedi, but just, just putting that out there. But it's certainly interesting because kyber crystals aren't something that
are common,
obviously. It's not something everyone's carrying around.
Yeah,
they're worth a lot of money.
Touristy. They're not handing them out.
No, they're not handing them out.
That's why they were mining them for the test.
It's true.
We do get a Scarif shout out during this episode.
We do get a Scarif shout out. We get another shout out to something else.
Okay, we're sending materials to Scarif.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because seeing as a massive data center.
Yeah, building a massive center there. So, he also talks about his time when Cassian talks about his time in the Imperial Army or whatever, like his brief stint, potentially lines him up in that he would have been, like, time wise. You'd have to do some proper maths on it, but his time wise, maybe he was in the same platoon as Han. Would be the potential lineup on that if he was around then. So.
Oh, you didn't see Cassian in Solo?
No,
he was right next to him. He
have to go back. Yeah, go back.
He ran past as Solo, fell in the mud. Pretty sure, yeah.
Maybe he did. Probably deserved it. It's fine.
He ran away when Chewbacca got out of the cage. That's happened.
Probably fair. It's probably fair. What do you think of Vel? This and any of the other people? Do you think they're just anything of substance to them, or like straight up people who got fucked by the Empire? And
interesting ragtag group of people. Obviously Vel has some sort of personal vendetta. It seems like, but all the others have their own reasons. Which one is it?
Is it the kid?
Yeah, the kid.
I couldn't find that character names or anything on the IMDb's. Reminded me of the kid from Alien is what I was thinking, but that's a reference you're not going to get. So,
Karras, played by Alex Lawther. Just his whole rant about the event that's going to happen in the sky that they're going to use it as a distraction. Just breaking down the science of it, I thought was quite amusing. Just him believing in Cassian just because of feel,
Yeah, he feels it, He's one with the Force and the Force is with him.
Sure. Also, shout out to Eben Moss Baccarat, who plays Arvil. Yeah, he's in The Bear. You should all go check out The Bear. It's great. It's also on Disney Plus.
If you're in Europe, Australia,
yeah, I guess,
or else it's Hulu.
Yeah,
I guess
in America.
Right? Yeah. And then our little time we got to see with Mon Mothma, very much enjoying seeing Genevieve O'Reilly back in the role. Really excited to see more, of course. But yeah, it's interesting time to be seeing her because there is that sense of when she's talking to Luthen that she is not in charge in this room. It's Luthen who's in charge of this room.
Yeah.
She's important. And then we get this scene with her husband. And I was like, oh shit.
She's got a cool place.
I was like, she got a rich ass fucking house. But also apparently she was married at some stage. Yeah, I guess that's true. She was senator. But yeah. So I do enjoy like this character that, you know, I say it a million times, a character that's so important to Star Wars that we know literally nothing about, or you don't get to spend any time with outside of like hearing her do speeches or little cameos and doing important moments and stuff like that. You never get to actually see her in a day-to-day life sort of thing. So I really enjoyed seeing that scene of her coming back to her home, completely unaware that about to have this dinner, and she obviously is very estranged from her husband. Her husband's obviously completely unaware of her dealings with the
it's interesting
stuff.
What it reminded me of was Kellyanne Conway, who was the used to be the Trump, I don't know, speaker or you know, press secretary or something,
press whatever person.
Her husband is like works on like at the very other end of the spectrum on like the Liberty Project, trying to get Republicans out of office and that kind of stuff. So it felt like that kind of marriage.
That's probably exactly what their home life is, yeah. Separate beds and...
Yeah.
Hey, honey, I'm home. Fuck you. Like, you know? Make America great again. I don't know.
Like, why are you even married?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was quite good. Then the only other character to sort of touch on is you get to see Cyril get absolutely what was coming to him. I love that scene. Like, not to say I root for the bad guys, but just that scene of him all of them getting fucking told. The fact that commander's like pulls a clerks and is like, I'm not even supposed to be here today. And then like, and then they all like, old mate tries to raise his hand and the other dude's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, like all this sort of shit.
All the disasters I've seen, this one takes the cake.
Yeah, there's also like, not say I'm usually rooting for the bad guys, but in that case, it's quite funny to see.
Just see him get completely
told, and then slapped by his mother. Literally has to move back in with his mum. That's funny.
You don't need to worry. We're not going to replace you. The Imperial army is coming in to take over.
Yeah. You've done such a bad job that we're coming in to replace everyone's job here and taking over. Like,
everybody here is redundant because of you.
What do you reckon his story is from now? That's the interesting thing.
I think he's going to try and redeem himself in the eyes of the Empire. You know, I think he's going to be some sort of antagonist to the rebellion.
Yeah, I was thinking like the easiest assumption.
He's going to be some sort of snitch.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe by the end of the season he manages to figure out or get a sniff that there maybe is more to Luthen or something like that. Could be the like how he gets back in their good graces, or you know, maybe by the end of the season Luthen's cover's blown because of him. That could be make him big role. I mean, they could go the complete opposite too, in that he actually completely turns on the Empire.
They could, but that's kind of I don't want to. I enjoy watching him wallowing.
Yeah,
just the whole sequence of him going to this space airport, having to carry his bags all the way down to his mother's house. Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. When it opens the door and just like, mother, like, I'm home. I've completely destroyed a region of the galaxy, and now they're under control of the Empire because I couldn't keep my fucking mouth shut for a couple of days.
Couldn't sweep something under the rug,
Couldn't sweep something under the rug. I feel bad
couldn't
for
do what I was told to do,
Yeah, I feel bad for old man. He was right at the end of the day. You know?
I mean, technically
he was right. He said the two that got killed probably talked shit.
He literally murdered two.
Yeah. He's like, you know.
Sure, they were doing something wrong, but they deserve to die? Probably not.
They probably did. It's fine. They probably did. I mean, we know they did. So,
yep.
You know, I'm going to say that, but I feel like I know they did. Anything that we've missed?
We missed the whole section in the Empire and like.
Oh right, yeah, the ISB and stuff. Yeah, so all that's sort of interesting. There has to be more to don't have the characters' names. I couldn't find them before.
It's,
But
Deidre Miro.
that's a character, like the woman.
Deidre, yeah.
Okay.
The blondes,
yeah, the
woman.
blonde. So there's more going on there than I think meets the eye, because she has that little scene where she discusses with her mate about like, you know, like they're looking for a reason to keep investigating more. It seems like there's more. They're trying to find out the person who stole that thing that Cassian had. So like I think there's more to it than meets the eye. Like, what do you make of everything that was?
Yeah, I mean, it raises questions because obviously we know this is a spy show and that kind of stuff. It does give you an idea of how much infighting there potentially was amongst the Empire as well, and trying to like raise themselves up the rank. Obviously, we've seen bits and pieces of it with like, what's his name? Krennic or whatever, Ben Mendelsohn.
Krennic.
And that kind of thing. But yeah, I thought this was really one of the more interesting parts of the episode, actually. So just the diplomatic, you know, the bureaucracy of all things.
It's also quite funny just because she's right. She's like, you know, we're seeing pockets, and she's basically explaining that
she's on the right trail.
She's completely on the right trail. She's
and
like,
because of the incompetence of the Empire and ego, they're not going to capture this.
They're not going to capture anyone. Yeah. So here's someone who's literally like, I've seen some signs of sort of rebellious behavior. I want to go put to a stop to it before it goes too far. You know, I'm seeing signs that people may be planning something bigger. Plus, you know, a little bit of a gut feeling, which, you know, that's fair. Like all good detectives have, I guess, gut feeling.
Yeah.
And then, old mate's like, look, you're full of shit. That ain't happening. So,
your homework's not done. Yeah.
Your homework's not done. So, yeah, no, that's, it's going to be funny. I guess what'll happen is they'll pull off their mission and then she gets to walk into the room and go,
guess what?
Fucking told
right,
you so.
bitches.
Yeah, like, I think that's how that's going to go. So,
also, I noticed during the recap this episode that, you know, what's his face? Stellan Skarsgård said last episode, bastards. Is that the first time someone swore in Star Wars?
It was the first time someone swore in Star Wars, yes. Someone said the word bastards.
Yeah.
I saw people on Twitter either loving it or hating it. I saw someone literally say it ruined Star Wars for them because...
Really?
Yeah. But, you know, there's always something that's ruining something.
Did they not watch The Rise of Skywalker? Oh! But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff in that Empire stuff. Like, I love the bit like, let's just put more money into surveillance. For what purpose? To surveil more.
Yep.
And just spend more on surveillance.
That's probably how these meetings happen in real life. So.
Oh yes, totally. How do we solve the problems? Let's just put more money into the military.
It's just Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how Trump was
they
trying to run
more
the country.
tanks. Okay.
Yeah. We need a space force. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how these things happen. You know?
That's how these things happen. Yeah.
So. All right. That'll do it for this week's episode of Going Rogue. Of course, make sure you subscribe to this podcast feed, Holocron Entries. We've got all the other Star Wars shows on here, including The Mandalorian, Very Bad Batch, and all these other things that are coming up. Head on over to our Twitter's explosionup.com/Twitter. Follow us over there. Join Discord, explosionup.com/Discord. And if you would like watching some other shows, or even watching it and listening to, head on over to The Lord of the Rings Extended, our podcast where we're talking about the Rings of Power at the moment. Head on over to What Do You Want to Watch, where we're talking about all things movie and TV over there. Head on over to All New Marvelcast, where we're talking about She-Hulk currently. And then head on over to South of King's Landing, where we're currently talking about House of the Dragon. There are so many after shows on explosionup.com right now. It is
crazy.
Insanity. Until next week, keep rebelling.